All right, here we go. Next day down here in the garage, we're gonna go ahead and keep working on disassembling this engine. Step by step, we do a little research, then you can see the computers over there, we got stuff pulled up, manuals and things. But we're gonna go ahead and start trying to get the head off. And in order to do that, we gotta start with the timing belt and all that kind of stuff, which you can even start to see it in there. So anyway, we're gonna start getting that off. The water pump, we'll take the, I already found my wrench, 17 mil over there to get the oil filter, I don't know, housing, whatever you want to call that. Get that off. But once we got the timing belt and all this stuff off the front of the motor, then we'll be able to work on getting that head off. And as you can see, we just set the valve cover back on there, so
No
little critters or nothing got up in there overnight. So anyway, we're going to start working on that. Step one is to get this off. We got a bolt there, and then another bolt down here, and we'll be able to get this cover off the front, and then we'll be able to get to the tensioners and stuff that we need to in order to get the belt off. Once the belt's off, then we're cleared hot to go in there after that cylinder head. So that's what we're going to work on today, is try to get that cylinder head off of there and look down and see what kind of pistons look like. And I don't know, depending on how fast that goes, we might even get some cylinders out of the out of here and get the crank out. And I don't know. We'll see where we get, but definitely the head and running. We'll go from there. So anyway, here we go. So that's the top piece. It's in two pieces. And here's the bottom piece. There you go. So 3 bolts. And we got it off.
Pretty much just we're popping the belt off, and then that's it.
Tensioner in here. Work on getting that off. We've done this before, but it was like 1.5 years ago, so it'll probably come back to us, or else we'll have to look something up. But regardless, we'll get that off there and get the belt off. Alright, so we're ready to get that off.
So there was a bolt right there where you can see that lighter metal, and take that one out. Loosen, there's that bolt right there on the inside.
Yeah.
You need a wrench in there. It's a 12 millimeter, which is kind of odd, I think, but loosen that one, and then this spring right here you can see from the front.
Yep.
Push that in. We use a screwdriver from this side.
Yep.
Push it in, then tighten back this bolt right down at the bottom. Holds it there. Belt is now loose, and we can slide this thing off. The screwdriver, or you just use your finger?
I just use my finger.
So that's pretty much belt off at that point. Are you supposed to take that front bracket off? Because this thing's kind of stuck.
I can't see from here.
Okay. Since we're not reusing this, then we can yank on it.
No, it's just, I think you're twisting it is why it's not coming out. Let's get the valve cover back off. So there's that. Now we're going to get to work. Pulling all these off and see what's inside.
So, okay.
You go ahead.
This is a manual I found online, and which is BMW manual. This is the whole thing is just how to take off the head. This pattern is for tightening it, but you see your unscrew bolts in order 14 through 1. So that is, you see on the indentions, if you on the bottom, tells you, because if you look at our block, there's indentions or head on the exhaust side. So that would be the front of the motor, that's back of the motor. So 14, 13, 12, 11. You pretty much go switch sides and go front to back, switching back and forth.
Okay.
So just follow that pattern. I've seen some people talk about 1/8 turns and just keep repeating 1/8 turns until it's finger loose. That's not what this thing says, and yeah, this is a manual. So just take 14 out, 13 out, 12 out, etc. But that's what we're following to get this head off.
All right, here we go.
Your head bolts, socket, E14, looks like that. And we're gonna start following our torque spec we just showed you. It's 14 because you're following that thing backwards. And this thing, I don't know how tight these are.
Pretty tight.
We'll get a bigger one. It's tight. Golly. That's not a lot to get those fingers loose. I'll just leave that like that.
Out, and
Not a lot of wiggling.
there we go. We wiggled it.
That was the first 2 wiggles.
Yep, and it popped up. So there we go. And we're gonna get this up.
We need to make somewhere to set this.
Okay, so we're gonna pause the video and we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put it.
This needs.
Yep, and then we'll come back and show you when we pick it up. All right, here we go. We got a plan for where to put this thing. So we're gonna lift this up and we'll show you inside.
That's pretty damn
Right
heavy.
when we see it. Oh, well, he says it's pretty heavy, so.
I'm not sure it's just gonna be jacked up.
Anyway, there's that. So, all right, let's work on getting that put down where you're gonna, over
You
here.
need to look at the valves, is what I've been telling you. What valves are open, what valves are closed?
The back cylinder's open,
Front cylinder's open?
and this cylinder right here has got one open.
Okay, so are you sure? Like they're 100% closed everywhere else?
Pretty much closed, yes, they're not sticking down. It's a very small area this is on, okay?
So what? This far left, and point at quarter arm again. That one,
This
that
one and the third one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna stop filming so we can set this down and make sure we're
Well,
looking
I
at
gotta sit
stuff
down
right.
right now. It should be good right there, I guess.
Okay,
There we go.
We'll double check. But
That
anyway,
thing's kind of heavy.
yep, and we used our boat chocks for that, so.
I just didn't want to hold it up because I didn't know how long it would take to find valves.
Yep, so anyway, I'll stick my head under there and we'll make sure we're good. But there we go, that's off. And now we're gonna come look in here.
Well, The cylinders kind of have like cross hatching going on, like they've been messed with before. But the bad thing is they also look a little rusty, and I don't know how easy that is to fix.
I think
Like right there.
we'll look at them a little bit better.
I can
but
feel that, which isn't good. But.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just showing you on camera, but we'll dig into it a little bit more as we go. Anyway, that's what we got so far. So any of you engine folks, again, let us know. I mean, this is going to go to a machine shop at some point, but
A lot of work done to it.
yeah, if you see something in there, it's another like, oh my God kind of thing, let us know. But the good news is I don't see any holes in any pistons, no like gigantic gouges in anything, nothing looks broken. And we don't know what kind of mileage was on this motor, but
The guy said 90, I'm pretty sure, but we didn't get to look at the car.
it's also, we know how reliable the speedometer gears are on these things, so I'd say safe to say it's over 100,000 on it. But anyway, that's what's inside of there. So another task complete. We'll see about taking the rest of this stuff out, but for now, that's the head off. What I'll do is I'll go pick up this head and we'll flip it up so we can look at the valves, and then we'll put it back down, and then I think that'll be the end of this video. So stand by here for a second, and we'll switch cameraman, and we'll check out the valves on the bottom of the head.
So when we took the head off, you see these pistons. I was thinking I had an image in my brain of what the 2.7 liter pistons were, because I watched a video about that. And they're kind of similar, but the way to tell the difference is the 2.7 have a flat, like this lip on the edge here is flat. This one you can tell is angled down. They both have a cavity in the middle, I'm pretty sure. But difference is the 2.7 liter, the edge is flat all the way around with a like dimple in the middle. 2.5 or the 325i is angled down. And then the way to tell what head you have, which most likely if your block is right, but there's a chance that if your head's like this, your block can still be different. But if your block's like this, then your head's probably not different, because the 327 head is worse than the 325i. And some people swap internals from the 327 to get a slight stroker kind of build, cheap stroker build, to get 2.7 liters out of their motor. But if you look here, you have your cam bearings. So on this one, you have 7 going across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of these things, cam bearings. The crappy head, don't use it. They got 4, I think. But we got a 325i. We don't have a 2.7, and we also, what I thought maybe was somewhat good is if we had a 2.7 internals, because then you get a cheap stroker kit. But we don't have those. Stock 325i, we're good to go forward. Nothing crazy going on.
All right. So now I'm going to pick up that head, and we're going to look at the valves.
Here's the bottom. Ain't very clean. Kind of crappy. That looks not good. That thing's green.
Yeah.
We got a radioactive spark plug or something.
Might have got a little bit of water in there maybe or something.
Who knows? I don't. But that's what we're looking like under here. If you know what you're talking about, you can comment. We don't know what we're talking about right now. We will later, before we start doing other things. But that's what the bottom looks like. We can check sealed. That one's slightly open, I think. I might just be making things up, but that one's open, that one's open. If you set it down on a flat table, your valves will hit. Not good. So we've got a janky setup of tire chocks.
No, it's not that janky.
No, wait, that one's open.
I know. So
That one's open.
I know, and I'm
You
going to
didn't
get
tell me
between them. I couldn't see.
Bro, you're risking it for no biscuit.
There you go. It's good. All right, that's it.